Hello, welcome to Record Sports Hotline Live World Cup Special. Delighted to be joined all the way from North Carolina by Record Sports version of the Neville Brothers, Keith Jackson and Scott McDermott. Guys, how's it going?
What did you call me? Keith Statson?
By the way, your patter better get better when you come over here.
You'll need to upgrade. This is a World Cup, mate.
I know, you need to up your game, Dan. Come on.
Listen, I'm saving the best when I go over there. Don't you worry, guys.
Evidently.
So you're in North Carolina?
We are in Charlotte, and we're glad to be here, aren't we?
We are indeed.
The Florida leg wasn't particularly brilliant in terms of, the place itself for Fort Lauderdale. Really didn't like New Jersey. I couldn't wait to get out of that quick enough. And here we are in Georgia and North Carolina, as you said, Dan, and it's lovely. This is, first impressions, made a great first impression. We were at the training centre today, absolutely outstanding facilities, and the city itself is spotless, really nice feel, great vibe, quite the opposite for some of the vibes that Newark was giving off.
You'll be glad to know, Daniel, we've got Happy Jacko back.
I'm back.
In Charlotte.
Yeah.
I was getting a bit worried about him. He's the only guy in history that's walked about Times Square in New York and used the word underwhelming. So no, I was getting a bit concerned about him. I've had to try and lift his spirits.
Well, there was
here,
a couple of incidents at Times Square which didn't help. Sort of me and the wee man got accosted by groups, and there was a sort of a racist element to it.
Put it this way, I think we stuck out like a sore thumb at the middle of Manhattan at one stage.
Scotty's in his Google Maps, and I'm like, oh my God, look at the size of that building. I think we gave ourselves away. We blew our own cover.
Aye, look, I think that New Jersey
but it wasn't a very welcoming reception that we got.
But even, I'm sure you'll agree, we never really felt settled there, did we? Because you knew it was a couple of nights here, a couple of nights there. The World Cup's not really started yet, still in that kind of build-up, kind of warm-up stage. But Jacko's right, now that we've arrived in Charlotte, obviously, Scotland's base camp for the tournament.
It feels like the start of the tournament.
We feel at home already, don't we?
It's got a Garmisch vibe, isn't it? Remember, nothing could go wrong as long as you were in Garmisch.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have a similar sort of a setup here in Charlotte. As you can see,
it's been really good.
The first of the trip.
Exactly.
We've earned it, hard earned it today. As I'm sure you can see, we've sent over a little bit of video when Scotty and I were down at the training camp earlier, just to let the viewers see what it's all about behind the scenes.
The training camp's brilliant.
Training camp's stunning.
Compared to Garmisch, I mean, as Jacko says, we loved Garmisch, but when you actually think back to just the environment, the kind of training
Sunday league stuff, wasn't it? The training facility.
It was a wee bit.
In comparison to this.
Aye, they have really upped their game. I mean, Charlotte FC's training ground. Obviously, we know people that work there, guys like Tommy Wilson, obviously used to be at Rangers and the SFA, that their manager there, Dean Smith, ex-Aston Villa, Brentford manager. The facilities are top-notch, and they really have made an effort to make Scotland feel really welcoming.
Yeah.
I mean, all the staff, they were lifting and laying us, weren't they, for the media centre to the training pitch, and the golf buggies. They put food on for us, food and drinks in the media centre all day. It's really, really good. You'll absolutely, you'll be blown away, Daniel, when you come over yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing. I know that sounds great, but it is in the middle of nowhere. So it's brilliant that they've done that, because we're getting there early in the morning, and we're going to spend most of our day there, all day, every day that we're here, will be spent in that media centre. So they've actually really pushed the boat out for us. They've made it as nice as it can be, and John McGinn came to see us today at the press centre. I think you've got some clips of that as well, Dan.
Yep.
Saying all the right things.
He's brilliant.
He handled himself absolutely superbly, as you would expect from John McGinn, as he always does.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, Scott. I'm just getting a real sense of positivity. Yeah. I think the guys themselves cannot wait to start this. We watched them training. What a laugh they were having. They were doing some hard work, but they were all having a laugh while doing it. You can feel the sense of camaraderie and team spirit. I just feel this feels different. This tournament feels different.
There is a different vibe. and compared to 2 years ago. And listen, maybe it is just experience. Maybe it's kind of
They've worked out what they like, what they don't
exactly.
like. Yeah.
And I think that goes for the manager and the players and the SFA maybe as well. It does feel a bit different. You don't want to speak too soon, obviously, but this feels a bit different. The players look more confident. You know, you've seen that with the performance and result against Bolivia at the weekend. As Jacko says, just seen a wee bit of the training today, really high spirits.
High intensity as well.
Just look comfortable, confident. Say John McGinn spoke with a real kind of authority, with a bit of humour in there as well. It was, listen, it's been a great.
And by the way,
really
just to top it all off, four angry Norwegian journalists turned up and gate crashed John McGinn's press conference to start demanding answers as to why we didn't why we pulled out of the kind of bounce game against Erling Haaland and Martin Odegaard. Aye, thanks very much, guys. Off you pop now.
As if the Norwegians didn't have a dislike for us enough after that last minute Kenny McLean goal in Oslo. They hate us even more.
Oh no, we're not liked. See you later, Olaf.
Well, look, we all come to that. We'll mention Norway's grievances, and as you say, Keith, we've got a little clip of John McGinn as well from his press conference today. And as you said there, Scott, as well, we battered Bolivia since we last did the Hotline Live, so we'll definitely talk about all that. But there's some comments coming in, and if you're watching at home, let us know your thoughts. First of all, Sean wants to know what's the weather like, and he says, what's the time? He's still, 5 hours behind?
Yep. 5 hours behind. The weather is absolutely...
Just gone 4 p.m. and it's toasty.
I'm melting here. I'm in serious danger of getting...
We managed just go turn around and walk into that thing.
I thought we were coming down to get a bit of shade, so I've not put any sun cream on. I'm going to be absolutely stealthing by the time I get up the stair. And also, there's no chance of me getting in that pool, by the way. I swim like a brick and dive like an anchor, so there's no chance I'll be in there.
Or it certainly sounds like that.
Patrick says, Keith's no daft. That's why he's brought Scotty to deal with ice when they finally catch up with you both. Ross McCormack says...
do with some ice now. Different kind.
Doing my back.
Ross in the comments says, Keith is looking superb. He's Glasgow's version of Brad Pitt. Right, now I think we found Keith's burner account.
Steady.
Aye, armpit.
And a lot of people, some people asking about the Norway stuff as well. So for anyone who hasn't seen it, guys, what is the drama?
Oh my God! Right, so I don't know why anybody at the SFA, and I'm guessing that it has to be the manager. But a number of months ago, apparently there was a gentleman's agreement. I think Norway's base is like an hour away from here. And there had been a sort of a gentleman's agreement that before the first group game is upon us, I think it was going to be Monday or Tuesday of this week.
Monday, yeah.
There was going to be a sort of training ground bounce game between Norway and Scotland. Again, just to sharpen everybody up, competitive streak and all that. And obviously, Steve Clarke took a look at what happened to Billy Gilmore. Got through the Bolivia game. I think he'd made up his mind before, actually, the Bolivia game, that the Norway thing was probably a really bad idea. So the SFA contacted the Norwegian counterparts on Saturday to say, look, do you know what? Well, I'm sorry, but we don't want to go through with this. And that has sparked a furious international incident with the Norwegians. Unhappy Norwegians are not a thing that you want to encounter.
Unprofessional,
weak, all sorts of different insults.
Guys, they've been that angry about it. I mean, surely stuff like this happens all the time.
It's crazy, especially just for a training game. I mean, they're acting as if it was like an official friendly at a ground and there was travel and...
Then I could understand it if you'd actually got a stadium and you were meant to be playing there, and it's just a kick about in the training ground. Now, I tell you what, if I'm a Scotland player and I've just seen what's happened to Billy Gilmore, do I want Erling Haaland running down on me and doing a 50-50? No, thank you very much.
Exactly.
So, as I said, off you pop, guys. Stop getting so upset. I think it is a legacy of the fact that we did beat them in Oslo.
Yeah.
They're feeling a bit sore. Poor old Norgies.
I think John McGinn made a great point today, and I'm sure it was in the broadcast, wasn't it, when he said, look, if you had lost Erling Haaland or Martin Odegaard, like we've lost Billy Gilmore the day before we go to America, you wouldn't have wanted a training game either.
Yeah, and actually, Scott, what he said was, it's not unprofessional. It's actually us being very professional. Yep. We can't take any more risks. We're one man down already.
Yeah.
and we've got to look after ourselves. Same way Norway, you've got to look after yourselves. But as you know, why they've reacted in the manner they have, I find
does seem a
strange.
bit over
I mean,
the
they're all stepping up to, whether it's the manager or sorry, the first team coach, the team manager.
players.
Odegaard said something.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to have a pop, but do you know what? It's none of our business. It's a good story. It's an international incident, but by this time tomorrow, the world moves on.
Yeah.
Well, look, guys, actually, why don't we hear from John McGinn? He was talking about it earlier on. You guys were there. Let's have a listen.
I would say 75% of the squad haven't seen it. I did see it. Our job's to look after Scotland. Norway's job is to look after Norway. And if they've done their research, we lost a very important part of the squad, very, very close to this camp. It had a huge impact on everyone. We didn't want to lose another. We've had a few niggles. Not everyone's been training. So I think it's a professional way of handling things, to be perfectly honest, and look after number one. And I'm sure every single country will be doing the exact same this summer. Like I said, Norway will be angry because they'll have their own plans. They've probably set up for that game. But if Norway lost Erling Haaland or Martin Odegaard in one of the games leading up to Saturday, they would cancel the game as well. The weekend was good, gave everyone a little bit more excitement. I think it was important to put that performance in to give ourselves confidence going into it. But we do feel the support of the nation. I think we deserve the belief for winning our group. But we've got exciting young players added, some from nowhere, some who have slowly started to build their careers. And I think watching Ben at the weekend, seeing the impact Finley's had, and Tyler coming in late, has given everyone, even players included, a lift. So we can feel the belief from back home, and we just need to prove that right now.
As I mentioned earlier, guys, we've not had a Hotline Live since we hammered Bolivia. What was it like being there? I mean, I don't want to get too excited. I know Bolivia are no great shakes. Scotland were brilliant. I thought Ben Gannon-Doak was sensational as well.
What was it like being there? It was incredible, wasn't it? Just watching a 45-minute performance like that.
I'd say the thing is, Scott, I think we both agreed. It's great watching Scotland win a game of football, right? That's an enjoyable thing to do. But that was the manner in which they did it. It was just an absolute joy to sit and watch Scotland perform against. Okay, Bolivia ain't world beaters. They ain't even qualified for the World Cup, but they're still a South American team. They're still dangerous. They still beat Brazil in the qualification campaign. We scudded them. We didn't just beat them, we scudded them, we embarrassed them a little bit. I think the coach was absolutely shell-shocked at the end of it. And the thing that impressed me, probably, I mean, as much as the way we played, which was really impressive, the fact that our guys handled it was 90, 92, 93 degrees.
Yep.
At kick-off time. Our boys only been here a week. They've only had a week to acclimatise. The medics say it probably takes a couple of weeks to really fully acclimatise into these sort of conditions. Our boys took to it. They looked fit as a fiddle. They actually looked more comfortable in the environment and the temperatures than the Bolivians did. And this is the Bolivians' backyard. They're used to this sort of temperature.
The best thing about it, Daniel, I thought, was just it's as good as I've seen Scotland in possession in a long time, in terms of keeping the ball in that kind of environment. Not something you normally associate with, and that's not a dig. Even the big games that we've won in the last couple of years, we've maybe not had a lot of the ball, we've not been brilliant on the ball. I actually thought we dominated the ball at the weekend.
Putting McDermott in the centre of midfield, as Scotty said, we were watching it. Scotty says, this is exactly what you should do. You've got your best player, put him in the position that allows him to most effect, most impact, most control the game. Scott McTominay, he was imperious. He was strolling around that pitch like a big Rolls Royce, wasn't he? Everything he did, pinging passes left, right, and Scott said at the time, it's almost as if this guy has turned up here at this World Cup saying, right, okay, we've never qualified, is that right? Well, give it to me. Bring it on me. I am ready. I'm flying. I can do this. And I think that's exactly what it looked like.
I believe that. It just the way he just played with a swagger that I don't think Well, we've maybe not seen for a wee while. I know he scored obviously the spectacular goal against Denmark, but in terms of just how he controlled a game, I just thought he looked sharp, he looked fit, he looked hungry, he looked to have the appetite. A guy that, as you say, wanted to go and dictate a game on his own.
But
and
that's
he's our best player.
It's very similar to the role that he's got at Napoli.
Yep.
He is allowed to get forward, and he will get forward, and he got his goal again. But at Napoli, he does play that little bit deeper. We sometimes use him as almost as a second striker, or we kind of an advanced area out wide. That's the first time. I'm struggling to remember the last time I've seen him played in that position, deployed in that role in a Scotland shirt. And boy, I just think this guy is having the time of his life out there.
Yep.
Remember the one bit, there was a wee Bolivian rat running about his ankles, and he turned him one way, turned him the other.
It was brilliant.
And then he almost just stood in the ball. He got the free kick. He just kind of stood and talked the ball and looked at the wee guy. Says, "What are you doing?" And it was just, you just think, "Oh my God, this boy is ready."
And that's the thing. See me thinking of the level that McTominay's at, especially the way he played at the weekend. Then I listened to John McGinn today again talking about how he's learnt for the last Euros, and he wants to be a player that plays well in big games, impacts big games. It's only a couple of weeks ago he lifted a European trophy as captain. That kind of thing gives me huge encouragement that this tournament's going to be different. These players are getting into this tournament saying, I'm not going to do that. This isn't going to pass me by. I'm going to impact it. I'm going to influence it. I'm going to make my mark on the tournament. I think that's going to be the big difference.
I think they've carried a bit of anger out of their 2 European Championship appearances, particularly the second one. The first one to get there was good, and it made everybody feel good, and it was, but it was a surreal set of circumstances, a COVID infected tournament. The second one, I think they are raging.
Yeah.
Whether they're raging probably a little bit with Steve Clarke that they weren't allowed to play what they wanted to play.
I think
they're raging for themselves most of all.
They were overawed, weren't they?
And John McGinn, a lot of these guys, their tanks were empty by the time they turned up in Germany because they'd played so much football throughout the season. This season, most of the big players have had at some point a bit of a layoff through injury. Right. They haven't played just as many games, honestly. And I don't want to get ahead of myself here, and I don't know, I've had half a beer, so I might get excitable. But they feel ready this time. They really feel ready. It does feel different.
And also, Dan, the thing about Saturday, obviously, a couple of days previous, I'd been on here and yous were kind of slagging me or having a pop for bigging up Haiti after watching them in the friendly game. I was trying to kind of urge a note of caution, because I think Haiti are a decent side. I thought they proved that the game I was at last week, the friendly win over New Zealand. But then I go and watch Scotland on Saturday, and you come away from that thinking, Haiti are a decent team. It causes 1 or 2 problems. But if Scotland produce the kind of controlled, clinical performance that they did against Bolivia, I think they go and beat Haiti with a couple of goals.
Well, welcome back into the positive camp.
Thank you. Well, I just had to see both sides close up. Jack,
it's a knee-jerk overreaction for you, wee man. That's what it was.
We've got. I've actually got some holiday snaps from you guys that I want to get to.
Don't.
But before that, we've got plenty of comments coming in. Let me throw a few of these at you.
Have you got the video from the training ground to show the folks? No.
We've been showing it over you. We've been showing it as you've been talking.
Right.
Showing the videos. A couple of times our trusty producer Henrik has kept us right. Don't you worry about that. Patrick in the comments says, don't know about anyone else, but the energy the guys are projecting poolside is getting me jealous. I wish I was there. Marzuno seems to be in a bad mood tonight. He says about the Bolivia game, the stadium's half empty and friendlies mean nothing. Come on, Marzuno, we're going to win the World Cup. Come on,
Marzuno.
Scott McDonald says,
he's better than that. Marzuno's better than that.
Right. You're right, Keith. Scott says Ben Gannon don't look like he was back to his best against Bolivia. Unplayable.
What a sight that was.
Makes a huge difference to the team when you have a player like that. Even made the defence look more solid. And just on that, Billy chimes in saying, I think the biggest decision will be who plays in centre of defence against Haiti. And that was I was going to ask you guys about that next. So first of all, Ben Gannon-Doak, I thought he was absolutely scintillating at the weekend. I think he could be the big breakout star at this World Cup, I think.
Absolutely could, but isn't it funny? Because just a week ago, we're wondering if he's going to get a start or if Finlay Curtis has got in front of him. And I think at that point in time, it was right. Finlay Curtis had got himself in front of Steve Clarke even described Ben Gannon-Doak's performance against Curacao in the send-off as rusty, and he was absolutely spot on. It was a clunky performance from Gannon-Doak. Yes, he's got the pace, he troubles his fullback, but it didn't matter because every time he got into a position, he was overcooking his cross, he was picking the wrong option. And effectively, if you're earmarked him as the game changer that we all know he can be, if his game's miles off it, as it was, then you're thinking, can we afford to take this? Or do we look at Finlay Curtis and think he might not just be at the same level as Ben Doak when the two of them are firing, but right now, Finlay Curtis might be a better bet, might be more end product with Finlay Curtis than you would get from Gannon Doak. And I think Steve Clarke quite cleverly threw down a bit of a gauntlet to Ben Gannon-Doak, saying, I'm going to give you an hour at the weekend against Bolivia. And by the way, your starting place in the first game is going to depend upon what you produce. By God, did the wee man deliver. By God, did he deliver. And when you see him picking up the ball and running at pace at people, they can't get near him. It's like watching a FIFA game. He's absolutely unstoppable. But that doesn't matter if he gets into the right areas and then plays the wrong pass. I think you saw the composure was back.
Yeah.
I think that he's obviously done a bit of work in the training ground. I think Steve Clarke's done a bit of work on him mentally, just to say to him, look, you need to calm down. You don't need to rush everything. Yep, go at full pelt. But when you get into those areas, pick your pass, pick your moment. Make your decision making in those areas, because those are the key areas. Make it better, sharpen it up. And I think there was big evidence of that against Bolivia. And I now think he's got himself on the back of that performance back ahead of Finlay Curtis. I expect him to start.
Yeah, I agree. The run, Dan, for the second goal for Shea Adams'
Oh, it
goal
was brilliant.
was, one of the boys mentioned at the press, but it was Michael Owen-esque from France '98 against Argentina.
Yeah.
It was
nothing you can do about it.
Incredible. And again, as Jacko says, not only does he produce the run, but he then picks the right pass on that occasion. And the other one that he set up for Adams, the ball for Aaron Hickey inside the fullback for Gannon-Doak to run onto, and then he obviously plays it in for Adams to score. Just that wee snapshot, to me, could be a real difference maker for Scotland at this World Cup. We didn't have that type of creativity, especially in the right flank in Germany. And that type of pass, we know Hickey's got that quality. That type of pass to somebody with a searing pace, Gannon-Doak, that can split a defence from any team. No, it doesn't matter the level of opposition. If you get that right in terms of the pass, the timing of the run, and the final ball, then it could be a massive, in terms of chance creation and scoring goals at a major tournament, that could be absolutely crucial for us.
What I love, Scott, is you can see them forming relationships all over the team, all over the pitch, all over the starting 11. You can see little relationships forming in various areas, and that gives you a really good balanced side. 4-4-2 is the formation that certainly I grew up playing. It's the easiest one to understand. There's no weird science to it. There's no need for PowerPoint presentations. Everybody knows your job in a 4-4-2. It's very simple. It looks as if Scotland have simplified it, and it looks, and I have to tell you, Daniel, this is what I'm most encouraged about. I genuinely believe Steve Clarke has learned, and that handbrake is getting yanked off when we go on against Haiti in the opening game. Whether or not it stays off for Morocco and Brazil, I'm not entirely sure. But it doesn't really matter. The 3 points are a must from the opening game. We all know it, and I think Scotland aren't going to go into this in a cautious frame of mind. I think we're going to go for it. I can't wait to see it.
It's like the relationship we build up, Jacko, when we go abroad. Not maybe we dovetail just like Andy Robertson and Ryan.
I thought you said you were going to say something about getting yanked off.
Steady.
It's an Americanism.
There's tonight's clip. Excellent. What I know you guys have got plenty of other duties to get on with, and there's time is against us. But quickly, while we're on the football, for a couple of
I need to get to this sun, Dan. Hurry up!
I know.
I'm melting here.
But just while we're on the football, who starts at centre back? It's been two different pairings in the two friendlies, and a couple of people asking about the goalkeeper, because I know Angus Gunn was obviously in the other night after Gordon against Curacao.
Well, it's interesting because you're right. I think all three positions were kind of up for grabs coming out here. that's me. Just whether Steve Clarke had decided in his own mind, I don't know. But from outside, it felt like those positions were up for grabs. In terms of the centre backs, I mean, John Souttar and Scott McKenna got a chance. Curacao at home the week before we came out. I don't think John Souttar is in the greatest form at the minute for club or country recently. And Scott McKenna, who before we came out I thought was a stick on to start as left centre back, he struggled a bit against Curacao in that friendly. So Steve Clarke switches it for the Bolivia game. He gives Hanley and Hendry a chance. And I thought the two of them were solid and sound. And I know the team played better. It was a better all-round performance. But the two centre-backs looked pretty solid, pretty comfortable. And I think they might have just played their way into the starting lineup for Haiti.
I think one of the big advantages Jack Henry's got as well, Scott, is the fact that he's playing in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
this temperature, this doesn't faze him.
No.
And he's rapid over the ground, isn't he? And I think if you're going to take risks, if you're going to play in an attacking, adventurous sort of style of play against Haiti, you're going to need pace to cover in at the back. And Jack Henry gives you that.
Yep.
And these conditions won't faze him at all.
And in terms of the keeper, Dan, it's weird, and I've no kind of, I'd love to say I've got a kind of, a lot of reasons for thinking this, but before we came, I thought Craig Gordon was probably going to start. I've flipped now. Just the more I think about it, he puts Angus Gunn in last week, on Saturday, for the last warm-up game. He gives him the number 1 jersey in the squad list, or the FIFA squad list for the World Cup. He played the full game the other night.
And in the first game, Craig Gordon started it, and Liam Kelly finished it. Yeah,
I've just got a feeling Angus Gunn's maybe going to be his pick for the Haiti game. And look, as much as I thought Craig Gordon would start, and I think probably overall, if those two are at their best, I would probably rather have Craig Gordon. I think he's probably a better keeper, despite his age. Could be the oldest player at this World Cup if he plays. But Gunn, he's never really let Scotland down. He's been a really good addition for us into the squad. You could argue he's better with the ball at his feet than Craig Gordon. I've just got a feeling he's going to get the nod for this game at the weekend.
Is that who you guys would start? Or would you both go with Craig Gordon?
It's difficult because you're not seeing them. Both of them hardly played any football.
I'd be inclined to go with Craig Gordon.
Aye.
I just think, how sometimes in football, there's a bit of fate. Sometimes things are just meant to happen. I know that sounds weird, kind of juju stuff, but I genuinely think there's Craig Gordon in particular. His whole career has been built on incredible stories.
Yep.
And I've just got a feeling, even last season, he doesn't play for Hearts. The one game that he does come in, he makes the save of the season. I just think there's something there for Craig Gordon. That he could come in and make those sort of saves that I'm not sure. And I like Angus Gunn, and he's not a guy that lets you down a lot. He's had little fluctuations in form, but I'm not sure that he makes the saves that no other keeper can make. And I think that's what Craig Gordon is, and I think that's what we'll need. I don't think we can have a goalkeeper who saves the saves that you expect him to save at this tournament. If we're going to progress, we need somebody that can do something a little bit extraordinary, and that's Craig Gordon all over the back.
I think if Craig Gordon was going to start against Haiti, he'd have had to have played some part in that game.
Possibly,
I think you're right, Scott. I think you're right.
Yeah,
possibly.
Right, before I let you go, talk me through some of these photos I'm about to put up here. You mentioned you were in New York. There's one here I'm putting up the screen. Look at that, it's lovely. It looks like you're on your honeymoon. That looks good. You're tan as well.
Times Square.
That's Times Square. You're tan as well. You've been holidaying in Chernobyl. What the hell?
He's raging at that point, by the way. I can't even see that picture, but I know he's raging in it because we're walking about Times Square.
And we've been accosted twice at that point. So, yeah, I'm ready to blow at that point. I'm in the red, Dan.
And talk me through your transportation, the cookie van.
Oh, aye. So we found out we could get a free transfer from the hotel in New Jersey to the airport, and every penny's a prisoner, Dan.
Yeah.
So we decided.
You'll soon find it.
Aye, as you find out when you get out here later this week. So we thought, right, we can't look this gift horse in the mouth. So organised, but after So I've got to tell you, when we checked into that hotel, when you check in, they give you a free warm cookie. Delicious, right? Delicious. But I've been kind of walking about outside the hotel, and I'd seen this constant stream. I'm going, by the way, what a lot of cookies this place is going through. There's a van coming every 20 minutes. It turns out that was your airport shuttle. So yeah,
But the thing, but every vehicle we've got into up until that point
had been class.
standing
Yeah.
air conditioning.
Air conditioning,
We
yeah.
were so happy just to get into the car or the taxi or the minibus or whatever.
This
We
thing
can
felt like a cookie oven.
Aye,
We can
and
we can
honestly,
see a picture of you with your fan there as well, Scott.
That's Scott improvising.
that was much needed.
Yeah.
Much needed.
And I
It
can see
wasn't just the Oaksters I was fanning either. Dan.
you caught up with a celebrity as well, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, looking good there.
aye.
He's look like
Madam
he's a twins.
Madam Tussauds. Aye.
Aye, Danny DeVito. That one.
And then
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Keith, talk me through this last one. There's a zombie outside your hotel. What's going on there?
Honestly, listen,
What's that?
New Jersey, outside of the hotel, running about the
Alright.
train station, Penn Station.
Looks a bit scary.
It was a bit scary, let's be honest. Honestly, it's someplace that was never on my bucket list and never shall be on my bucket. I wouldn't wish to return. It didn't feel particularly safe around the place, did it?
What about the girl at the New York Red Bulls when she was asking us where we were staying?
Oh my God. So we've just finished doing our stuff from the Bolivia game, and we need to find our way down from the press box to the interview room where Steve Clarke was, and the mix zone where Scott got some of the players. And this very helpful young girl says, guys, you kind of looking to find your way? I says, yeah. She says, I'll show you. Walking down. And she says, so how do you guys like New Jersey? And I thought that it was best probably to say nothing, but Scotty says, oh no, it's nice, nice. Really? You really think that? So then Scotty says, well, you know, she says, and where are you staying that you think New Jersey? She said, I'm from New Jersey. I don't like New Jersey. Where are you staying that you think's a nice part of New Jersey? Scotty tells her we're staying next to Penn Station in New York. She says, guys, I have to tell you, they don't stop around there. They just drive by in the car and shoot you. So thankfully we only had one night left.
You've actually seen a window with a
We saw at the train
gunshot in it?
outside the front of Penn Station, the railway station. There was a shattered pane of glass in front of the front doors, quite clearly a stray bullet. So yes, well, I'm glad to be in Charlotte.
Aye, we've survived now.
Right, let me hit you a couple of comments before we wrap up. There's been some crackers coming in. First of all, Marzuno's back in form. He says, who's sleeping in the middle when Dan arrives? It'll be Brokeback Hotline. So thanks for that, Marzuno.
You're bringing a cowboy hat, wee man.
I'll bring the lassos, don't worry. Padraig says, is it as pricey as folk are saying over there? Are the Yanks milking it, or is it just what it's to be expected?
No, it's bad.
Is it bad?
Just paid $18 for A2 beers, so that's how expensive it is.
Did you really?
Aye, it's no cheap.
I'll not
Dan.
be going Hoffers on that.
It's no cheap.
Mark wants to know, is there any comments and reports that there are many tickets available for sale so close to kickoff? And the reasons for it?
I can't confirm that. What I can say is that I've heard something very similar, that tickets that had been priced high, like $80, are now, the suggestion is that they've not been sold, despite Infantino coming out about 4 weeks ago and saying the whole tournament was sold out. They now, I'm hearing, they're talking about a public release and the tickets at greatly reduced prices. So what did cost $80 4 or 5 weeks ago?
Dearer than that. They'd have been dearer than that.
$300, whatever it is. But yeah, a big now. Don't hold me to that. It's what I've heard, but I've not got the evidence in front of me. I've not seen it. We've not heard any confirmation from FIFA on that. But there is a strong suggestion that these tickets might be easier to come by than many had first feared.
And this one, Vespigo says, get these guys some hats. They'll be toast by the weekend. That's advice from a Floridian. And finally, perfect way to end, I think, Peter says, it's coming home with Keith and Scott.
Well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That'd be great.
That'd be good,
That'd
wouldn't
be
it?
great.
Look, I know you guys are busy, so I'll let you guys...
We're busy, we're melting.
before we actually see Scott literally melt on screen, I'll let you guys get away. But thank you for all the comments on tonight's show. Thanks for everyone watching. Keith Scott, it's always an absolute pleasure. What's your movements tomorrow then? What's happening?
Training ground
Back
nice
to
and
the
early.
early 10 o'clock tomorrow for the press conference. So what would that be? 3 o'clock your time. So we'll hopefully be speaking to another player tomorrow. Don't know who that will be yet, but I will be there for early doors tomorrow.
And we'll just be there all day back up at the training centre because the free buffet.
Exactly.
And we'll be back with another edition of our US special Hotline Live tomorrow night, 9 p.m. UK time. Hope you can join us then. Keith Scott, it's always a pleasure.
Cheers, Dan.
Cheers.
See you guys soon, and thanks for watching at home. Cheers.